After the week-long pause in Gaza, fighting ended. Israel has resumed military operations in Gaza. 30 minutes after the ceasefire expired at 7 a.m. local time, Israeli fighter jets hit Hamas targets in Gaza, accusing the Palestinian militant group of firing rockets at Israel and violating the agreement to free all women held as hostages. According to Gaza's health ministry, at least 37 Palestinians were killed and dozens more were injured across the Gaza Strip since the truce deal with Israel expired. Israel has stepped its offensive in Khan Yunis. This is what remains of a residential apartment. Locals are trying to look for any survivors under the rubble. A body was pulled from the rubble of a destroyed building.
وهاينا قاعدين نعمل لاولادنا اكل. ليش ايش هالاجرام؟ ايش هالارهاب؟ احنا بقول عنا ارهاب، احنا بنخلي الناس نايمه، اولادنا نسوان باولادنا صغار نايمين وبنهيئ العماره عليهم. احنا من عمار الشيك، احنا دين واسلام، بنفكرش بهيك بالمره، ولا فينا اجرام ولا فينا ارهاب. احنا بدنا نعيش بامان وبدنا اولادنا يحسوا بالامان، بدناش اشي.
Following Israeli strikes, people were seen fleeing to camps in the west of Khan Yunis for cover. After hearing heavy shelling and seeing smoke rising in the east of the town, wounded Palestinians were rushed to Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip for treatment as Israel continued to pound the area. Israel has dropped leaflets in parts of already bombarded southern Gaza, urging people to leave homes east of the city of Khan Yunis. The leaflets also warned that Khan Yunis was now a dangerous battle zone. The Israeli army has published a map dividing Gaza into hundreds of small zones. They intend to notify Palestinian civilians of areas which are active combat zones. According to an announcement published on the Army's website, Palestinians have been asked to pay attention to their area's number as per the map and follow security updates on evacuations when the IDF's ground offensive expands to the Strip's south. Siren warning of potential missile fire sounded around several communities near Gaza in the hour after the fighting resumed, and this is according to the reports. Hamas's armed wing has received the order to resume combat and to quote-unquote defend the Gaza Strip, with heavy fighting reported in parts of Gaza City. A brutal retired general who recently became a TikTok sensation is among the favorite to become the next president of Indonesia. According to reports, 72-year-old Prabowo Subianto was feared and hated in Indonesia 75 years ago. In fact, 25 years ago, I beg pardon. Prabowo currently serves as defense minister in Indonesian President Joko Widodo's cabinet. Prabowo is also the son-in-law of former Indonesian President Suharto. During his stint as a general in the Indonesian Special Forces in the 1990s, Prabowo ran what is described as a lethally efficient terror regime in the formerly occupied country of East Timor. Prabowo has been accused of ordering the abduction, torture and killing of democracy activists. However, according to recent polls, Prabowo is ahead of two other rivals in the campaign to replace President Joko next year. Prabowo recently transformed himself from a murderous oppressor into a cute dancing grandpa. The poll numbers are partly due to an online campaign presenting him as a cuddly cartoon figure. Social media videos show him performing a comic dance. His campaign also put up billboards depicting him as a smiling cartoon character. In the videos, he is alongside his running mate, Raka Buming Raka, who is the son of President Joko. However, Raqqa becoming Prabowo's running mate was controversial, since President Joko and Prabowo were considered fierce political rivals. Reports further say Raqqa becoming Subianto's running mate gives the impression that President Joko betrayed his party to form an alliance with Prabowo. Meanwhile, as Taiwan is gearing up for its presidential polls next month, the island nation's president Tsai Ing-wen has said that China is not likely to consider a major invasion of Taiwan for now due to domestic challenges. Although the president has expressed that Beijing is trying to sway its upcoming elections. Tsai made the remarks while responding to questions of a Chinese invasion in the aftermath of a crucial meeting between the United States and the Chinese presidents last month. Beijing considers Taiwan to be a province of China and has vowed to annex it under what it terms reunification. Chinese President Xi Jinping has expressed hope for a peaceful takeover, but has not ruled out the use of force. Taiwan's government and population overwhelmingly reject the prospect of Chinese rule. When asked about Xi's hope for a peaceful reunification, Tsai said that China is currently overwhelmed by its internal challenges. Taiwan's president has also said that China is determined to interfere in Taiwan's presidential election in January and influence it in China's favor. She said this interference has occurred in some form in every election since 1996, when the first presidential elections were held after Taiwan came out of martial law. Responding to the comments, Beijing Ministry of Foreign Affairs has said that Taiwan is an inseparable part of China and there is no precedent of Taiwan. Ministry spokesperson Wang Wenbin also expressed that the stubborn nature of Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party is doomed to fail. Taiwan's elections will now be closely scrutinized by policymakers in China and the United States, as it could determine Taipei's ties with an increasingly hostile Beijing.
我要强调的是，世界上只有一个中国。台湾问题是中国内政，坚持一个中国原则是国际社会的普遍共识。要维护台海和平稳定，就必须旗帜鲜明坚持一个中国原则，反对台独分裂，反对外部干涉。民进党当局顽固坚持台独分裂立场，不断进行谋独挑衅，只会遭到可耻的失败。